Frank, who won the trade?
In the short term, Dan, I think it's the Lakers because they get Anthony Davis, but the trade was always about one player and one team. It was the Lakers, and it was LeBron James and Rich Paul hoping to get LeBron James, one more chance at a title because, how many, top years does LeBron have left? 2? You're hoping for maybe 3, but he did break down this year. What was it, 55 games that he played in? So Anthony Davis, a few years from now, could find himself in the same situation he was in New Orleans. The only difference is he'll have an ocean view of a team that's not that good.
But also, I mentioned this last hour that we look at, LeBron as being timeless, and he's played. He'll have played 350 more games than Michael Jordan at the same age this next season at age 35. Eventually, LeBron's not going to be the best player on his own team, and I think you're right when you're saying you got a 2-year window here, maybe 3, if you can bring another title to that town.
And you're 100% right. And a very good website is basketballreference.com because it has everyone's stats on there. And go look at LeBron's regular season games played, total minutes, and then go look at his playoff games. Pretty soon he's going to approach 3 full seasons of playoff games, 3 full NBA seasons of just playoff games. And Dan, if you go back to what happened this season with the Toronto Raptors, one of the most underrated parts of their year was that they decided, because they're trying to do everything they can to keep Kawhi Leonard, was they played him in 60 games. In those 22 games that he missed, they went 17-5. That allowed them to have home court advantage in the second round against Philadelphia. They won on that last second shot, and they had home court advantage in the NBA Finals. I think players like Kevin Durant, who played 78 games this season, wasn't available except for 12 minutes in the NBA Finals. You're never going to see these guys play 75 games. Same thing with LeBron James. Yeah. How are you going to look at LeBron James and say, we want you to play 75 plus games then in the playoffs at his age? To me, Kawhi Leonard now because everything is a trend, and right now with the way Kawhi Leonard and the Raptors handle this, I think other teams, and I think the Lakers, certainly with LeBron James, are going to do the same thing. That's why for Anthony Davis, it's going to be interesting to see how they fill out the rest of that roster, because I think there might be 15 to 20 games next season when LeBron's not on the court with him.
Yeah, this whole load management, I get it. Kawhi basically was saying, this is what I'm going to give you because I want to give you more when the playoffs start. LeBron was doing load management this year. I don't know at what point a player can say, hey, I'm taking off because of load management. I don't know, you have to be a superstar to be able to say this, but I do think the commissioner is going to have a problem on his hands that, he might be looking at shortening the season instead of having this load management issue here. What do you think about that?
I agree with you because he has stretched out the season, fewer back-to-backs, no more 4 games in 5 nights. And, I think Adam Silver does a lot of good things. I think this idea of having some goofy in-season tournament like they have in England with the FA Cup, come on. The FA Cup works because a team like Wimbledon, who's in the 3rd division, gets to play Manchester United. It's a big thing. Is the NBA team going to go play the Erie Bayhawks? And that's going to be a big deal for the NBA teams. The NBA players, we can't even get them to play in 82 games. Now we're going to have a in-season tournament?
Yeah,
for what?
I know.
To try to create some tradition. I don't like it at all. I don't think it's trending that way towards shortening the season because everything's getting better. The medicine and all these teams, have guys that monitor their diets and they have sleep coaches and everything like that, yet everyone's getting hurt. LeBron played all 82 last year, and then the 22 playoff games. This year he made it to 55. And Kevin Durant, how could he not be sitting there thinking, man, I played 78 games during the regular season. I missed the conference finals. I missed all but 12 minutes in the NBA finals. And I ended up blowing my Achilles. And here's Kawhi Leonard, who never played. Think about this. He never played more than 8 games in a row at any point during the season with the Toronto Raptors. They had 13 sets of back-to-backs. He never played in both games of a back-to-back. So their plan, you could hate it, and fans have every right to hate it. When Dan Patrick goes to see the Rolling Stones play, and if Mick Jagger's not the lead singer, he's going to be ticked off. So it's the same thing when you go see the Toronto Raptors play. But today they're having a parade, so guess what? It worked.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.